After such a phrase from the captain, we finalized details and agreed on a departure date. It will be November 14th. His mysterious partner Fent, as he introduced himself, will also join the team. My boat will be ready even a month before. Those were days of much anxiety and little sleep, a lot of reading and meetings with the team about the trip we were planning. We fantasized about the most incredible adventures, but reality was about to surpass any possible fiction or imagination. On November 12th, just 2 days before leaving, Fent, Butler's partner, showed up at my door with another man who looked even more mysterious than himself. All dressed in black and with a strange accent. He told me it was urgent and I made them enter my home. Fent had a briefcase which he opened as soon as he entered on top of a table. Inside there were many documents and among them he took out a kind of ancient manuscript and began to recite a part of it. Then, by the man I subscribe in major importance, hereby desire of our Lord that the doors of knowledge be closed to those who refuse to be part of our glorious path and liberties granted. The text went on for several more lines, and then, at the end, the so-called poem Regius was recited. As soon as he finished his reading, I commented that it seems that he was in some kind of initiation rite. It was then when Fent commented, "Exactly, comrade. Precisely those who didn't pass this initiation are the marginalized. Better said, we are the marginalized." Fent, I demand, please explain a little. I am not understanding anything. What does this text mean and what does it have to do with our trip? Look, Fent commented, I'm going to explain a little of this situation. This manuscript belongs to the Custodians, as we call them, or as they call themselves, the Sun Gods. And they found out about your trip through Butler. The high spirits are aware of it, and it does not make them happy at all. This manuscript races, and they will not let anyone leave these lands by demand of the lords. The situation couldn't get any worse. An adventure that was already risky enough due to the harsh weather and everything that could happen to us due to natural events. Now we were adding these unknown enemies. Who are these Custodians, I asked. Fent went around in circles, and his strange friend opened his mouth for the first time. Interrupting, he commented that these Custodians were not happy about our trip, and that was the only thing they could tell me. Fent then suggested that we should cancel it, that it wasn't worth risking our lives. He said it with a threatening tone. That's when I invited them to leave my house immediately. His strange friend looked at me defiantly and they left. After a few minutes, I tried to communicate with Butler to ask him what was happening and comment on the situation of this strange visit. Butler never answered. Neither that day nor the following ones. I gathered the emergency team to analyze how to continue. This travel plan was becoming dark and sinister, but an inner force pushed me to continue. The passage to other lands was becoming ever more real, but also more dangerous. We met with the whole team. Butler was not there. Nobody knew about him for weeks. He was missing. I told them everything about the visit of Fent and his partner, also about the manuscript. Walter said he had heard something about the Custodians, but he wasn't sure who they really were or if it was a secret organization. The situation wasn't at all encouraging. Butler didn't show up, and the plan without him seems impossible to carry out. Besides the risk it seemed to entail against an unknown organization that was chasing us without even having left port. We made the decision to postpone the trip again until we could find Butler. We will try again to find him at his home the next day. As expected, we were unable to find Butler, and the chances of the trip were being destroyed by the minute along with the concern of the captain's whereabouts. The team also communicated with other known people and members of the naval force. Nobody knew anything about him. It seems as if he had been swallowed by the earth. November 14th arrived, with the plan already cancelled. Someone knocked at my door, and to my total surprise, it was Captain Butler with provisions, maps, and everything necessary to leave. He commented to me as if it was nothing, "It is time to leave, comrade." I asked him as many times as possible where he had gone, and I also had to explain him the strange last 2 days that the whole team had spent. He looked at me very coldly and commented, "It was to be expected. I had to hide for security and priority to protect the document needed for the plan, especially this map, while I was unfolding it on the table in my living room. It was huge. There was land I had never seen before. Butler ordered me to assemble the team and that he had to leave today. I asked him if he knew about the Custodians, and he told me that there was a lot he had to tell. The history is not the one we were told, William. The creators of the pyramids and another race, as they also call them Custodians, have no interest in us crossing the South Pole. He told me that they found out about our travel plan by a Fent who had betrayed him, and that the trip had to be made today or we will never be able to make it. He also commented that we will have plenty of time later on to give me more details about all these ones we are sailing. I hurried to gather the whole team. Once we were all together, we left the port of Charleston. We had a few stops before reaching the frozen areas of the south.